Hello and welcome to Talk the Walk. Today we'll be walking around East Cowes. We begin our walk at East Cowes town centre and we walk through to the floating bridge before taking a look at St James's Church and continue on to Castle Copse. We then stop off at Norris Castle Gatehouse and take in some of the remains of the former East Cowes Castle before ending up on the seafront. Our final destination is East Cowes Marina.
East Cowes is located in the north of the Isle of Wight, on the east bank of the River Marina. The town gets its name from one of two sandbanks, each side of the estuary, which supposedly had a likeness to cows.
The name was also transferred to fortifications built during the reign of King Henry VIII to dispel a French invasion referred to as cow forts or cows. One of the most notable attractions on the island can be found here, which is Osborne House, the summer home of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. The town is known for the building and design of marine craft and materials associated with boat making, including the early flying boats and sail making.
St James's Church was built in 1831 by the architect John Nash, and in September of the same year, 12-year-old Princess Victoria laid the foundation stone of the new church. Enlargements of the church took place between 1864 and 1868, and the chancel was added in 1870. Here is the floating bridge, which is a chain ferry that connects the towns of Cowes and East Cowes.
Castle Copse was historically part of a more open parkland landscape and has a small number of veteran trees which are now surrounded by mature secondary woodland. Red squirrels used to be seen here, but sadly due to the building of the surrounding houses they disappeared. However, the copse is still a haven for other wildlife such as rare bats, slow worms and foxes. We've just come across this placard which tells you about the first driving offence to be prosecuted on the Isle of Wight. Now it says here, in early January 1899, Mr Henry House appeared before Newport magistrates and was charged with driving his motor vehicle at a greater speed than 8 miles an hour, which worked out at an average of more than 18 miles an hour. It says the chairman of the Board of Magistrates said that he understood how the public was terrified of motor cars driven at such a furious pace, and he was fined £3 plus 11 shillings. Now, if you compare that to speeds of today, I mean, you just wouldn't get anywhere, would you? So this just shows how times have changed.
We are stood on the site of the former East Cowes Castle South Lodge, and all that remains is the pillar behind me and a section of the curved balustrade wall.
East Cowes Castle was built in 1798 by renowned architect John Nash when he purchased the land. The castle was not defensive but instead a country house with towers, turrets and extensive crenellations. The castle was sold in 1835 when John Nash passed away.
During World War II, the castle was used by the military to lodge British and Canadian troops of the Free French Canadians, and air raid shelters were built in the grounds. Once the military moved out, the castle was in a very poor state of repair and was demolished in 1963.
Over the years, housing was built over the grounds, and this lodge is the only surviving building of the original castle estate.
Norris Castle was built in 1799 and is adjacent to Osborne House. It sits in 225 acres of land and is a Grade 2 listed building. The parks and gardens at the castle are the Isle of Wight's only Grade 1 landscape, listed by Historic England. Despite its grandeur, the castle's condition has suffered for a long time due to a lack of funding for its upkeep. As such, it's closed to the public and awaiting restoration.
This propeller is originally from HMS Cavalier, which was built in East Cowes in 1944. East Cowes Marina has 360 berths and is popular all year round. It is accessible 24/7 and doesn't have any tidal restrictions. The lifeboat pub overlooks the marina and is a great place to enjoy a meal or drink and take in the views.
That concludes our walk for today. Thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.
We begin our walk at East Cowes town centre and we walk through to the floating bridge before taking a look at St James's Church and continue on to Castle Copse. We then stop off at Norris Castle gatehouse and take in some of the remains of the former East Cowes Castle before ending up on the seafront. Our final destination is East Cowes Marina.